Well, this week we'll take you from inspiration to implementation, your ultimate teaching plan for 2025. Yes, I might sound like Kermit the Frog, but I'm Glory St. Germain, your host at the Ultimate Music Teachers Live Show. And I'm thrilled to have you here today. And joining me as well is my amazing co host, Joanne Barker. Hi, Joanne.
Hey there, Glory. Sorry your voice is a little today, but hey, it happens at this time of year or any time of year, doesn't it? But you
Yeah,
know what?
sure.
We're so excited to dive into today's topic. It's all about from inspiration to implementation and your ultimate teaching plan for 2025.
That's right, Joanne. And today we'll show you how to create a step by step teaching plan for the new year. And perhaps you can discover ways to incorporate new strategies, tools, and resources into your studio. And here's success stories from educators, our ultimate music theory teachers who grew their businesses in 2024.
And don't forget, we'll also explore how UMT Club Classes can provide financial growth and work life balance, that elusive work life balance. We know it's hard to achieve, but it's a lot easier to achieve with those classes. That's what we want to do in 2025. This is going to be packed with actionable takeaways. So grab a notebook. Let's get started.
Absolutely. So first, we want to talk about reflecting, before we kind of dive into our what are we going to do for 2025, we want to take a second to kind of reflect on the 2024 success. So before we plan ahead, we want to take that moment. And for those of you taking notes, write down a little reflection on 2024. Joanne, what stood out for you this year in the music teaching community?
There was so much growth this year. I love seeing how UMT educators use their own creativity to elevate their teaching. They took the tools, they took the strategies, and they flew with it. One standout story for me is Summer, who lives up in Alaska. She implemented the strategies that she learned and she started offering UMT Club Classes. And you know what? She's growing her studio into a six-figure teaching business. She shared with us what her aspirations are for the next few months, and that's in the next few months. And get this is all while raising a 2-year-old. He just turned two. I mean, it's like she's got a little guy. She even brings him to coaching calls with her sometimes, doesn't she?
She does. I think, and we want to give a big shout out to Summer because it is really amazing to know that you can grow a six-figure music teaching business, whether you're living in Alaska or wherever you might be in the world, and raising your children or grandchildren. And I think this kind of reflection is such a powerful step. So let's look at you, Joanne. What worked in your studio and what didn't? Ask yourself these questions, I think, in as you prepare for 2025, because we've seen educators who reflect and adapt, and these are the ones who experience that incredible growth, right?
That's right. And what really worked for me is employing the strategies of group lessons and the online structure because I'm actually downsizing my studio a little bit. I wanted a little bit more thanks to the club classes over the years and creating a little nest egg. I'm looking at scaling back a bit. Get that? Scaling back my music teaching business and not working quite as hard. And the online opportunity and all the resources that I have to make use of online make my lessons vibrant and engaging for my students. And it's really we can kind of the world is your oyster, and the limits are not there. There aren't any limits anymore out there in the world of teaching. So if you want to grow your studio, or if you want to maintain, or if you're even looking at changing and kind of transitioning down a bit, there's so many opportunities to do whatever fits with your picture thanks to the resources we have. And that kind of leads us to our next step. How are you going to build that teaching plan for the new year?
Yeah, absolutely, Joanne. And I think when you come into the Ultimate Music Teachers membership at teachumt.com, whether you decide to teach in person or online or do hybrid, I think these are really important because as all of you can hear, my voice, I feel great, but my voice sounds really strange. And this is because of whatever, doing a lot of things, I guess. However, when you are teaching, and if you're teaching in person and one of your students is ill and they need to maybe jump in onto an online lesson, or even yourself as a teacher, and I know, Joanne, you've experienced this as well, you can just switch to online lessons. And that's why we need to embrace all of the elements and all of the resources and all of the trainings that we put together for you inside the teachers membership. Because how do I do all of these things? Well, when it comes to planning, it's all about breaking it down into manageable steps.
Mhm.
So here's a framework that you can use. So you want to focus, You want to plan, you want to teach, and you want to grow. So, Joanne, let's start with the focus.
Yeah, focus is about identifying your goals. And actually, just this morning, I was kind of going over my financials from the year to see where I am and looking at my next year to see where I want to go. Yeah, at this time of year, it's nowhere near registration time, right? That's months and months away yet. But now's the time to start thinking, okay, what am I doing now that's working for me? Do I want to increase my income? What income do I need to make things work in my life and in my home and in my family? Do I want to attract more students? Do I want to start teaching in groups? Do I want more time for me? And if you do, if the answer is yes, the teaching the groups and the UMT Club Classes is the way to go. You really want to get clear on what you want to achieve in 2025. This is what I did a year ago, and I'm sitting here looking back over my year now going, yeah, this is better than I thought it was going to be because I put those strategies into place. So just start dreaming. Write down your ideas. You can write anything you want on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
But then you have to decide from that list of items, what's really workable for me? What's really the goal? And what do I have to do to get there? What do you want to be able to achieve in 2025? Make it clear.
Yeah, absolutely. And once you've defined your focus, it's time to plan. So look at your schedule, your resources, and the tools that you're using. So, for example, the UMT Teachers Membership provides you with everything that you need to plan structured lessons and, of course, to teach UMT Club classes. And can you share a little bit with us, Joanne, on next steps?
Well, I think teaching would come next, whether it's private lessons, group classes, or even workshops, having a step-by-step plan ensures you feel confident, prepared, and you don't have to stay with this or this or this. I love the idea of holding workshop classes. And, that's something I'm actually looking at implementing in my schedule for a year from now. Have the regular weekly group. I teach a hybrid combo lesson system of group classes plus mini private lessons. But why not throw in a workshop here or there? That increases your income. That makes your studio more vibrant. It helps your students, to say the least. You're not adding an extra add-on later on, include it at the beginning of the year. This is the time to start dreaming all those things. We want to get that step-by-step plan so we can feel confident and well prepared.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we can also think about doing, as you were mentioning, doing a workshop or doing an Ultimate Music Theory Club camp, which runs for 6 sessions. And it's another quick way to, grow your teaching business, but also put these students then into your year-long program. Because don't forget, we want to grow, right? And this means reviewing what works, making adjustments, and using resources like the UMT coaching calls to really stay inspired and be accountable. And it really brings us to more success stories and more strategies, Joanne.
Oh, I love success stories. One story that really inspired me is Bonnie. Bonnie's been offering UMT Club classes for a few years now. She started with 1, then 2, then 3, then more. And at last count, I think she's got 7 weekly UMT Club classes going. 7 classes filled with happy students. Do the math. Stop and think about that for a minute. So if she's got 6 students in a class, 7 classes, she's teaching 42 students in 7 hours.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome, isn't it? And just think of the gift she's giving her students. It's not all about making money. Yeah, we're a business. Yes, we have to make money. But think about the gift you're giving those students of understanding music and understanding the language of music. And so then their practical lessons are so much easier because you're not spending time going, what's that note name? What's that note value? They already know it. So it just makes them have wings to soar.
Yeah, I love that, Joanne. And it's such an incredible story, and a big shout out to Bonnie. We're so proud of her. She's been inside the Ultimate Music Teachers Membership for actually many, many years now. And I just love seeing her face in there. And she shares willingly with others because I think it's not just about me. It's how can we support our fellow music educators. And that's why the Ultimate Music Teachers community is such a vibrant community. And these stories really prove that with the right strategies and tools, you can achieve amazing results. And, if you're thinking, can I really do this? The answer is yes. And remember, you don't have to do it alone.
That's right. The UMT Teachers Membership is here to support you every step of the way. There's a Facebook group to ask questions in. There's coaching calls to ask questions in. And if you've got a question, guaranteed somebody else has a question that probably is echoing what you're asking. So it's not just about teaching. It's about building that life you love. And it's about employing strategies that you don't have to come up with, that they're already there waiting for you to be employed, that other teachers have done. And they can maybe share with you ideas that this worked for me, but this didn't. Here's a mistake I made. Maybe you don't want to make this mistake. It's a collaborative and not just a fixed learning thing. It's ever evolving and ever growing. And it's all about building that life you love, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Joanne. And finally, I want to talk about UMT Club Classes for Growth. One of the best ways to grow your teaching business in 2025 is through UMT Club Classes. And they allow you to teach, as Joanne was sharing, multiple students at once. We usually suggest 6 students in a class, increasing your income without adding teaching hours. And here's the best part, is that students actually learn faster when they learn together. So it's really important for them and their musicianship skills, collaboration, imagination, just overall enjoyment of music to be part of a UMT Club class, right, Joanne?
Totally. And another thing is, I know group lessons are very a big buzzword out there in the world. I've been teaching group lessons for over 20 years now, but teaching group practical instrument or voice isn't for everybody. So if you want to augment your income and you want to grow your studio, this is a great way to do it. You can still have those private lessons for your students, but bring them together for theory. And if you make it like an annual tuition package and it's all included in one, it makes it more financially available for parents and for more families to be able to afford. So we have all the resources in the UMT membership. There's games, there's worksheets, there's lesson plans, everything you need. You'll be able to launch that first theory club class within 30 days. And you don't have to wait till next September to do that. You can do that in January, in February, get started now. So if group lessons are something you've considered, but you're thinking, I don't know if I want to teach group piano, group theory, why not? Why not give it a try, right? Try that first 6-week club class with your students. You might just totally fall in love with the whole group idea and flip your studio all over. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, imagine earning an extra $12,960 a year. Yes, over $12,000 a year from teaching just 1 hour a week with 6 students. I mean, I know I started this many, many years ago, and it's how I grew my business, and it's how I supported my students who went on to become teachers themselves and composers and, accompaniment musicians, and those that just continue to play music for their own personal enjoyment. And it all started with my first theory club class many, many years ago. And if I can do it, you can do it. And that's the power of UMT Club Classes. And, before we wrap up, I just want to remind you that planning for 2025 starts today. So reflect, set your goals, and here's the big part, right, Joanne? Take action. We're here to help you every step of the way.
I listen to a podcast every day about financial things and a woman who's helping young women get out of financial difficulties. And she said, if you write it down, it's just a dream. You have to take action. That's when it becomes a goal. So write the dreams down, dream big, but then choose the goal and act on it. That's what it's all about. And one way to do that is by joining us inside the UMT Teachers membership at teachumt.com. There you're going to learn, plan, teach, and grow your music teaching business for productivity and profitability too.
Absolutely. And you can get started today. The first course you're going to have access to is the Momentum course. You're going to have immediate access to the community and our weekly coaching calls with myself and, of course, Coach Joanne as well. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. So head over to teachumt.com and take the first step towards your best teaching year ever. We applaud you.
Exactly. And thanks for joining us today. We can't wait to see you inside the membership and hear about your successes in 2025.
Absolutely. See you next time on the Ultimate Music Teachers Live Show and inside the UMT Teachers membership at teachumt.com. Till next time, teach with passion. Bye.
Bye.